Lori-Vallow's fate will lie in the hands of a jury of 12, which is being chosen this week at the Ada County Courthouse. Vallow is accused of murder, conspiracy, and grand theft related to the deaths of her two children, J.J. Vallow and Tylee Ryan, and her husband's late wife, Tammy Daybell. In day 2 of jury selection, more people were eliminated and the jury pool is being whittled down even more. We've had crews in the courthouse all day, including my co-anchor, Morgan Romero. So Morgan, bring us up to speed on what happened in court today.
Good evening, Doug. Again, questioning started this morning. It just wrapped up about 30 minutes ago. Jurors are told throughout the day to be, quote, brutally honest when both the prosecution and the defense ask them questions. Those attorneys need to get to 42 potential jurors. As of this evening, we're at 30 potential jurors, up from 17 yesterday. So it is looking hopeful that we could get through jury selection this week. Once they hit 42, they'll ask a whole different set of questions. From there, they need to get to their final 18. 12 jurors, 6 alternates, as Doug mentioned. Cameras are not allowed in the courtroom, so a sketch artist is documenting images from court. These are some of her sketches you're going to see now. The jury selection phase is closed. We're watching it in an overflow room from a live feed. Today, Vallow looks like she's wearing a black blazer and a white shirt. She was taking notes at times throughout the day as well. Out of a huge jury pool, attorneys are questioning potential jurors in panels of about 15 and questioning them individually as well, mostly about what they know about the case from the media. They're trying to find a fair and impartial jury, as we've been reporting the past couple days. It's part of the reason they moved the trial from Fremont to Ada County. That's proven more difficult today than yesterday as the topic of publicity continues to come up and more people are weeded out because of concerns over bias. People are not only being excused based on what they know about the case, they're also being eliminated because of hardships like money, work, family obligations, medical issues. Nate Eaton, news director for East Idaho News, is also in the overflow room with us. He's been all over this story since it broke in 2019 in the community he covers.
The eastern Idaho communities are still coming to grasps with the fact that this happened, that 2 children were allegedly killed and buried in somebody's yard. And so it's sad. I mean, when this broke and those kids were found, there were vigils held from strangers that didn't even know these kids. And hundreds of people turned out just to pay honor to these children. So there's sadness, there's obviously anger that this happened, there's heartbreak. I think the overwhelming feeling right now, though, is let's move forward. Let's get a verdict. Let's get the trials done so that we can put this behind us.
Throughout the past 2 days, attorneys are asking questions like, do you know Vallow? Do you have any opinions about her guilt or innocence? What do you believe conspiracy means? Do you have concerns with sitting on a case that has to do with crimes against children and hearing and seeing emotional evidence? Most jurors, by the way, to that question said they could handle it. Jurors were also asked if they were able to look past people's religious beliefs if they were different than their own. We do know religion, religious fanaticism, religious extremism is going to be a topic of conversation in addition to mental health throughout this trial. Again, as of this evening, we are at 30 potential jurors. We have to get to 42. So we do expect jury selection to conclude this week. After jury selection, we get started with opening statements. And as always, we will continue to keep you updated on air and online. And later tonight on the news at 10, I'll have a more in-depth wrap from court today. Doug?
And Morgan, just like a technical question for you too. We've reported that there's an 1,800 number for the jury pool. Does that mean that most of those 1,800 will never actually get to the courthouse the way they're moving them in groups?
Yeah, that's exactly right. It was actually 1,800 that were called to jury duty and asked to fill out questionnaires last week. So a lot of people were eliminated based on their questionnaires. You know, they were out of town or they knew too much about the case. We don't know exactly how they were dwindled down, and we actually don't know the number that it got to by this week. So from that 1,800, we don't know what we started with this week. But say tomorrow they choose their 42 jurors in those first couple panels, nobody else will have to show up to court. Everybody else is excused. They've got their jurors. They're good to go from there. So a lot of people will not see the inside of the courtroom for that.
All right, Morgan, thanks for explaining the process. It's also interesting. So many interchangeable parts, too. Thanks, Morgan.